Hello, my name's Eric Flugel. I'd like to share with you the 7P's in marketing for your junk removal business today. You might ask me, why do you need to know the 7P's? And if you know the 7P's, it's going to help you to gain more customers and align your business to be more marketable to others. So let's start with the 7P's. Okay, the 7P's of marketing. Why? Product, price, placement, promotion, process, people, physical, evidence. That's what the 7P's are. When you think about your product, you have to think about, what are you offering? Are you offering property cleanout? Are you offering a tenant evictions cleanout? Storage unit cleanouts? Auto home cleanouts? And so these are different things you have to think about. What are you offering them to those out there? What are your services, and how can people use your product? Now, when you think about pricing, right, you think, well, if I price myself too high, I can be like the guy who invented the vodka. I can be like the vodka store guy who priced himself too high, and so people thought he was a premium, and so they went and got him because they thought he was a premium. But I don't think junk removal works that way, if that makes any sense. I think that if you price yourself too high, no one's going to contact you. If you price yourself too little, people are going to think you're a joke. So the good thing to do is to price yourself in the middle, not too high, not too low, so that people actually know that you're legit at what you do. But there's different things to think about pricing too. Let's go back to product, right? And product, we talked about property cleanout, right? Do you charge a different price for property cleanout than you do eviction cleanouts? Do you charge a different price for commercial junk removal compared to residential junk removal? And so these are things you have to think about as you're beginning the price. Do you offer promotion, or do you knock down the price if they're senior, like an old person? Do you knock down the price if they're a mortgage, or if they get any kind of service to the world, right? And so these are things you have to think about: is if they give, do I need to? Can I give discounts? What it affects? It's going to affect your price, and so you have to put in some consideration to that. You also need to, as you're thinking about your price, that stuff, you also need to think about, how much is it going to cost if I hire somebody? How much is it going to cost if I use a truck and a trailer? How much is it going to cost if I just use a dump truck? And so you need to think about how much economic capital it's going to cost you to run that junk removal business as you begin to think about your pricing to your customers. And so that's just a little bit of how I see pricing in the market. The next thing is, how do you place yourself in the market? And something you need to consider is your personas, right? You probably right now came up with 3 to 4 different personas of who your ideal customer is, right? Is it the real estate agent? Is it the mom? Is it the high school kid who just got his first-time job and he's moving out of the dorms, and he doesn't need his stuff because he's moving halfway across the state? And so you have to think about who your ideal customer is when you think about placement, because you can place yourself, you can place your how you gonna place your ads, how you gonna let people know that you're out there. And so you need to think about placement and how people can get a hold of you and reach you and know about you, right? And so the next, as you think about your placement, you need to think about your channels, right? Do I go through YouTube? Do I go through Instagram? What do people contact me? Do I put my truck out in front of a busy street so people can see me? And so you have to think about how people can get a hold of your product, if that makes any sense. Okay, so now we'll talk about promotion, right? And a lot of these 7P's tie together, but promotion is gaining the awareness that your business is out there. And so some things you want to think about is, do you want to use social media to promote your business? Or do you want to use, you can go to a local high school, maybe give them $100 and put yourself on put yourself on a T-shirt, or maybe put up a sign at the baseball field, or put up a sign on the football field. So you have to think about how you can promote yourself throughout your community so people can gain awareness of you. If people can gain awareness of you, then they know you're out there and they can call you about your service. Like, I get a lot of real estate agents to contact me on Instagram because we do a lot of hashtags through realtors on Instagram and Ogden. Process, right? What is your start to finish? Are you gonna do a truck and trailer? Are you gonna do a jump? Are you gonna do a dump truck? And so these are things you have to think about. Is how big do you want the team to be? Is it just you by yourself? Is it a group of people? Is it 7 trucks to do 7 different areas? Or 7 different cleanouts? Or do you have you have to think, well, what is my process to get the job done? And so that's something you have to think about when you consider marketing to your crew. And so remember the process. What's going to get me to start? What's going to get me to finish? And that's something to consider. Your people, right? How do they look? I want you to take the time right now and ask yourself, what does my ideal employee look like? Does he have a hat? Does he have a shirt that matches? Do I need to hire an extra hand force? Or would it be better to hire an IT team? Or a marketing team to help me to understand all this online stuff that I don't understand? And so, as you start to think about building out your business, you start to think about how to grow your team, how to grow, right? Could you be the one guy who does all the junk, and you have another guy who does all the content, or you have another guy who does all the bowling, and you do all the junk. You do all the removing, right? Removing of the junk. Or do I need both? Somebody who does the bowling and all the office stuff, an IT guy who fixes the computers, who makes sure everything's running smoothly. And so that's what you need to think about. What does your staff look like? And remember, your staff needs to reflect your core values and the mission of the brand. So maybe right now is a good time before you hire anybody, is to sit down and think what you want your core values and mission of the company to stand for. Physical evidence that your business exists, okay? And so what I recommend here is to go to some home and garden shows, right? Get out there, let people know that you're out there. Maybe have a game night so that people can maybe take a picture of a guy walking. Maybe use Instagram to take a picture of this guy walking. Then use a bunch of hashtags to promote this guy walking so that people can actually see that you physically are removing the junk from people's home. And you might want to have an event night where people can come out. Well, let's go back to promotional real quick. You might want to have an event night where people can come out and they can play games like board games like Candyland and Life, okay? But yet you get an opportunity to socialize and connect to others about your business, and they can connect to you about their needs and their wants. And remember to be an active part in your community. The best thing to do right now for your small business is to be an active member of the community. That means if you are struggling to grow your business, maybe go to a community event, or maybe wear your t-shirts to an election hall, a city council meeting, a PTA meeting. Wear your shirts wherever you can wear your shirts right now if you're certain to grow your business, because the more they see your name, the more they understand what you're doing. And so I wanted to take this time and thank you for letting me chat with you and communicate with you about the 7 P's and how the 7 P's relates to marketing. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.